We live in a podcast era, which means we get to hear some insights into players that typically we didn't before. So, after the 49ers beat the Jets on Monday Night Football, you have Aaron Rodgers flip right back around and join the Pat McAfee show on a Tuesday to react like as fresh as possible. Typically, the only insights that we would have gotten a couple years ago would be through beat reporters who are asking questions in a very media focused type environment where players are way less likely to open up and share actual thoughts than opposed to a podcast setting where it's much more conversational and much more revealing of how these players feel. That's why podcasts are what they are. And so when you listen to Aaron Rodgers react to the game, his first game back, and talk quite highly of Fred Warner. It's cool to hear. I mean, it's cool to get his raw, kind of visceral reaction to his not only being his first game back, but 49ers kind of coming after him. So take a listen as he reacts to the loss right here on the Pat McAfee Show.
Hey, arm looked good, bud. Yeah, I mean, we're talking spinning it. Obviously, it felt good to get out there, make some completions, make some plays. Not the result you obviously wanted with the New York Jets losing to the Niners on opening night. A lot of season left. How do you view last night? And like internally, as things are happening, what are your thoughts early in that game?
Well, honestly, gratitude to start the game just that I was back. Such a long road. I thought about all the different things that happened over the last year. Tomorrow is like a year since the injury. Lots changed in my life in the last year. So, I just felt, an overwhelming sense of gratitude. I was on the bus ride over. I was texting to some people. Actually texted Randall Cobb and I was texting with AJ as well. But just, just a lot of things were hitting me. 20th season, all the rehab that happened. All the ups and downs of the last year. And I kind of the anthem hit, and I just had a big calm that just came over, and all the anxiety around getting hit and staying healthy just left my body. And I went out there and felt at ease about being back on the field. So it was cool.
That anthem is such a moment before the game, and obviously it was a talking point years ago for a lot of different reasons, and things have happened in the last couple of days that have people referring back to that particular thing that was taking place. But for a lot of players and even retired players, when they go to their first game back after you retire, and some guys like stay away from the game for a little bit because they don't like the fact that they were cut or told that you're not good enough. But whenever you go back and you hear that anthem and you're standing in a stadium, you can't help but get emotional. It's like it's almost like a switch that gets flipped, like, hey, it's game time right now. Like, we're about to do that. I'm excited to hear that your brain had that reaction.
Your first game, first snaps back, you stare across the line of scrimmage and it's Fred Warner on the other side, and you maybe think to yourself, like, all right, this is as good as it's going to get on the other side of the ball. Or would you have rather, just had some slub on the other
Northern
side?
Illinois.
Northern Illinois, yeah. What a win, huh?
Yeah.
Powerhouse.
Yeah, they are.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Yeah, there was an on-field near makeout at the end of that one too, which is pretty sweet.
Gotta love it. That's college ball, baby. Yep.
Listen, hey, come on. Let me just give my answer.
Yeah, please.
You got it. You got it. Hey, check that out, by the way.
We were looking into it.
Who was Fred Warner. Fred's a great player. Fred is a great player.
I thought you were referring to making out with Fred Warner after the game there, and then I realized it was the Northern Illinois potential.
No, Northern Illinois game, yeah.
Okay, we'll check that out for sure. Fred Warner, though, you're obviously a massive fan. First night against him, he has a huge one, obviously, immediately upon the game. He's phenomenal at the football. Any chatting with him or anybody else?
Beautiful. Listen, I got to say, we watched a clip during the week of Fred doing just that, tackling where he's wrapping with one hand and punching with the other hand. And he's as good as there is in the league at that. I always felt like Peanut Punch was the best. And then when he was out of the league, if you ever watched Josh Norman play, I feel like Josh was incredible at it. Like every one of his tackles, he wasn't even trying to tackle the guy, he was just punching the ball. Yeah. And Josh was actually on San Fran at one point when we played him. And Fred is so talented. He's smart. I've known him since he was a rookie, and Yeah, he does it all sideline to sideline. There was a time where I think I told him after a game that he was going to get the recognition he deserves, and now nobody flies on the radar. It starts with 54 and 97 on that defense, and um, they honestly did less pressuring than I kind of thought they were. I thought there'd be some more unscouted looks. There were some good disguises for sure, but for the most part, it was a lot of too high coverages with some man as change up, and then lining up in man and playing some zone out of it. So it was just bad execution. They executed better than we did, and that's why they got us off the field.
One of the cool things with Aaron Rodgers is he was talking to Fred Warner after a game one time. I don't know if it was 2020, 2021, maybe 2019. I don't know. Somewhere in that time period, might have been 2019. But he was like, "You're the best linebacker in the league." And that was before it was common knowledge that Fred Warner was the best linebacker in the league. And so Fred and Aaron have a lot of respect for each other. Obviously, Aaron showing that respect to Fred before it was widely known that that is the truth. They have a great level of competitive respect for each other. So when you hear Aaron Rodgers talk about Fred Warner, that's what he's coming from. He's coming from a guy who respects his game. He respects how good he is. And Fred Warner had a great day. That fumble recovery really set the tone of the game. I really think swung momentum early on. And Fred is he flies. He's all over the place. And I felt like Fred was playing free opposed to what we came to see under Steve Wilkes. I don't know if that's a scheme thing. I don't know if there's any correlation or if it's, I don't know, recency bias. I don't know. It just felt like Fred was back to being Fred, if that makes sense. Not that he wasn't good last year, but when you talk about his ability to just be all over the field and just be flying around hitting guys, it felt like old school Fred. So I absolutely loved it. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers didn't love it all that much, but again, it's kind of cool to be able to hear these guys' instant feedback and how they're feeling about this whole situation. And of course, Aaron Rodgers is a very important player in this league. He's one of the best quarterbacks to ever play in this league. So he's obviously on the tail end of his career. So it's always interesting to hear what guys like him have to say, especially directly after a loss to the 49ers. So what did you guys think about what A-Rod had to say? Anything stand out to you? If it did, let me know in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.